Hello and welcome or welcome back. I'm Bo.
And I'm Win.
And this is our review of the month in our 50, 30, 20 categories. So 50, 30, 20 is the ideal that you're supposed to spend 50% on needs, 30% on wants, and 20% on investments.
We didn't do that.
Correct.
Not even close.
Correct. And investing, as far as this is concerned, is anything that increases your net worth. So it could be like investing in the stock market. It could be paying down debt.
Yeah.
Whatever is going to move the needle in your net worth, basically. So for us, this past month in April, it was $4,680, which is 85% of our spending towards needs, $276, which was 5% of our spending on wants, and $551, which is 10% of our spending on needs.
This is not balance. This is not sustainable.
Correct.
And we need to dig in today about what about that is not sustainable.
Yes, because in all reality, if we want to buy a house in the next 10 years, we need to pay down his student loans as much as possible in the next 3 years so we can start saving for a house. I don't know what that is, but I don't like it. Is that?
It's a nail.
Oh my goodness.
Don't like that.
Chaos. Okay. So what we need to think about is what we can cut down in our needs category so that we can put more towards investing. Because really, I need to send basically half my paycheck to his student loans every month.
Which sounds crazy.
Yeah, that's a lot. We need to be living on a lot less. So like this is where the happiness score actually does kick in. We were just talking about this before we started recording. So the happiness score is supposed to tell you basically which things you can cut out, which things make you less happy to spend your money on. Those should be the things that you cut. So with our needs being 85% instead of 50%, we need to cut a significant portion of what we've been spending on needs.
Now, in order for that conversation to take form, I'm just going to come out and say that when we talked about this a little bit, when we got this conversation started before, my confusion for a little bit and kind of an impasse was me continually thinking about what we plan to spend each month. But really, and we're going to break this down in a moment, the problem isn't what we plan to spend each month. It's the emergencies that keep coming up. And the simple fact that historically, most of our emergencies have been emergencies with me. Which means that it's up to me to find ways to mitigate the circumstances and conditions that lead to these emergencies and figure out what really needs to happen so that we can move forward sustainably.
Yes. So for this month, our needs that cost the most money have been health. So he got a root canal. That was almost $1,000. And also we both got glasses because my glasses were broken and he hadn't had glasses in years and his vision was not doing so great. So that was $1,500. That was a big chunk. That $1,500 could have gone towards his student loans.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to effectively like adjust our normal categories so that these big things don't hurt us so much. So like this is a health thing. So in theory, we need to increase our health budget a little bit so that this doesn't happen again.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to increase that, but we also need to decrease some other things so that we can send more money towards investing every week or every paycheck anyway.
Yeah.
So what would make the biggest difference? Like, what would make the biggest difference in our budget to let us be able to send more money to your student loans?
Well, I mean, right off the bat, the emergencies that we've had to deal with come as a result of not taking good enough care of myself. So I don't drive anymore. That cut down on emergencies. I cut down on caffeine, which had put me in the emergency room twice. That's $200 a pop that we don't have and don't need to be spending.
And also, being in the emergency room
Took time out of work.
And you don't get paid time off.
Mm-hmm.
So that's costing you in the money cost that we're paying out, but also costing you in lost wages.
Yeah. That said, the anxiety that I was struggling with for a number of reasons, the anxiety I was dealing with for a number of reasons, routine, including budgeting, has led to a much more sustainable headspace. Mindfulness and therapy leads to me not feeling anxiety at work and jumping up anytime something goes wrong and leaving work. So you may have noticed over the last couple months bigger paychecks for me because I'm not looking for excuses to leave work.
They're not excuses.
Right, but
like you getting sick and not going to the doctor immediately, instead waiting until it gets so bad that you're missing large amounts of work and like can't work. They literally sent you home multiple times because you were too sick to work. And that's when you eventually went to the doctor and got medicine and were better, like pretty quickly. But like in the meantime, you missed a bunch of work when you could have just gone to the doctor immediately and gotten medicine.
Yes. All of that. The car accident that messed up my teeth. I've been taking better care of my teeth since then and haven't needed any more operations or procedures done. So taking better care of myself physically, taking better care of myself mentally, being more mindful of routine, and just holding down baseline expectations. All of that has led us to a place now where we don't have to worry as much moving forward. So that's part of it. So that takes care of the big emergencies. We still are going to have to cut spending beyond that. So the question still remains, but this did require a deep dive into where has the money been going? And did that money should that money have needed to be spent? No. It really didn't need to be spent. If I could go back and talk to myself back then, wouldn't have had so many of these strained budgets. But in terms of what's next to try to save, we've got it down pretty close to the wire. Dining out, that's probably next on the chopping block, isn't it?
We really need to cut down.
Yeah.
We've been going, aside from this past week we only spent $9 dining out.
High five.
But like, if we can do that every week, that's considerable, because last month it was $97. We only budgeted $60.
Yeah, that's not good.
So like, if that money could go towards your student loan instead, that would move the needle.
Okay. Um, oh, um, pro tip: if you want to make it easier to not dine out as much, get better at cooking. In the last like 5 to 10 years, actually bothering to spice my food and learn how to cook in different ways and bake has saved us a lot of money, or has set us up to not feel as um, uh, tempted to dine out. So
Yes, but we've still been doing it
yeah,
like a lot.
meal prepping and meal planning is very real. We've got a nice spicy garlic chicken soup recipe that I've been tweaking and fine tuning and doing slow cooking, big batches.
We haven't been slow cooking, we've been pressure cooking.
Pressure cooking. It, what she said.
Yeah.
So pressure cooking, which is actually really fast. I don't know why I'm calling it slow cooking, because I usually don't get this much flavor out of a soup unless I slow cooked it. So this has been nice. By actually taking a small portion of lunch with me to work and enjoying that, I don't come home and binge eat, running up the grocery bill. Yeah, so that's part of it. What else we got?
So are we actually going to cut down the groceries?
From 110 to 100, I think so.
Okay. Okay.
Also, as important as it can be to stock up on staples, if for us, because I don't know everyone's situation, but for us, stocking up has left us in weird situations where like our pantry has 2.5 giant tubs of peanut butter and one poor lonely jar of jelly, because I went and got like 5 things of peanut butter at a time, thinking that that would like save us money in the future, and it really just threw things off. So we're gonna work on setting up something close to a sustainable weekly grocery list, and we will let you know how that works.
Yeah. I think that's about as much as we can expect to change right now, and we'll see how this goes. These little changes that we've been talking about, we'll see how this goes for next month.
Mm-hmm.
We already kind of figured out next paycheck's budget, and that will be coming up soon. That will be on Thursday. That'll be Thursday's video, is the next paycheck budget, and hopefully that will move the needle so that we're not spending such a high percentage on needs, because we shouldn't be cutting it that close to like not having, we essentially don't have enough.
Yeah.
We don't make enough, or it's not necessarily that we don't make enough, it's that we're spending so much on needs that we don't have money for other things. So
by the way, I feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't point out, we've all heard that anyone is just one medical emergency away from being flat on their back in debt. This 1,500 could have been really, really bad for us if we hadn't spent so much time and energy budgeting and saving, so that we wouldn't be have what am I trying to say? The wind knocked out of us just from one root canal. Budget beats broke every time.
yeah. And never forget that you deserve financial stability. I hope you have a great day on purpose. Bye.